All right, welcome to Kermit.
All right, I'm excited. Well, let's start with the fact that I've just been with you today and gotten a little bit of a glimpse of what your life has been like since. But this is kind of how it is now, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, there's always people that I would bump into a few people once in a while that want a picture, maybe one here, one there. And now it's like this is what being a celebrity must feel like, because it's been nuts. Yeah. And the cool thing is when people come up to me, oh, I'm so sorry, but can I get a picture? I'm like, you guys, I'm not like a celebrity. I'm a youper. Like, you can come talk to me. I'm absolutely gonna. If standing next to you smiling makes your day better, that's easy for me.
The other thing that's cool that I've heard you say this to a couple of people today who have sort of apologized for taking your time. This is actually the moment that you worked for so long. You worked for this. Yeah. This is all those practice runs, all those disappointments. This is actually the moment you've been waiting for.
Yeah, for sure. I tell people, I can't complain about it. This is the dream that I wanted. So now that we got it, we gotta step into that role. There's a responsibility, I think, that comes with this gold medal, and especially when you're from a small community, you got to do something with it. And for me, it's easy to go do that. My parents are great people. I got a great family, and my mom would whoop my butt if I didn't go out there and do stuff like this. And so I told the line close, so she's gonna get me.
The other thing that's interesting, though, is that you've got to cover a lot of territory because the entire UP is basically one town, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's funny how you say the world. It's a small world when you have the UP is even a smaller world, and you know somebody or you have a cousin or there's always some kind of tie to everyone in all these communities.
Yeah. Let's go back to the games a little bit. I told you earlier that the disappointment of not making it to the medal round of the event that is your specialty was so crushing for you and for all of the people that were watching that night. I think in hindsight you might have put it a different way, but you really felt you had let everybody down, and that was a really bone-crushing moment. Not just for you, but for everybody who loves you and was pulling for you.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to be able to do what I've done and to do it as long as I've been able to do it. And a lot of people from here, a lot of people don't even get out of here. They don't get to travel. They don't get to see the world. They're living through me and my experiences. So I really want to give them the best ride that I can. And the fact that I wasn't going to be able to make it to that medal round for them. And I know how many people were staying up late, staying way past their bedtime, trying to watch that and cheer me on. Just wanted to give them a show. And let down, I think, was the wrong word, because the people that care about me support me and love me no matter what. But I wanted to show them that all that hard work, all those sacrifices that I've been making were for a good reason, and that I was fast enough to win had I made it to that final.
Yeah. The margins of error that are allowed for you in your discipline in snowboard cross are so minute and infinitesimal. There's so many things that are completely out of your control.
Yeah, it's an unpredictable sport, and I think that is what has allowed me to have the longevity that I've had, because if you can predict even the littlest bit, it gives you such an advantage over the rest of the field. And just that I've been on the course and I've seen so many different things. I've seen a little bit of everything on a course. So I can kind of predict what might happen in this situation, what might happen in this corner, and I think that's what allows me to continue to be successful as I get older.
What is it about, you clearly have, you were telling me earlier about your brother and the rollerblades. You also like to go really fast in off-road trucks. You clearly have a need for speed.
Yeah, there's definitely, I chase that adrenaline rush anywhere I can find it, and whether it's on a mountain bike or a trophy truck, whatever it is, I like to go out there and I like to push the limits of what I can do. And it's just been a way that I've been able to express myself and find out what I'm made of.
It's funny that you haven't, how shall I put this delicately, outgrown it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of 40-year-old snowboarders.
No, and it is crazy, because I'm like, as we continue to go, when we seen our sport a few years ago, these jumps were so big. We competed at the X Games. We did crazy things. And after the last Olympics, they were worried about safety. And us as athletes, we were never worried about that because our sport is cool because it is unsafe. We don't do it because it's safe. We do it because it's cool and it's awesome, right? And it just, to see them change these courses, I've joked multiple times to my fellow competitors, like, if they keep making these courses easier, I'm going to be here until I'm 50. And they all giggle and they said, you know what, you're probably going to be.
That's great. Maybe that's their intention. Maybe they don't want to chase Nick Baumgartner off.
Yeah.
The funny thing about snowboarding that I think is very different from so many other sports in the Olympics, you certainly see it in the half pipe. Somebody nails an amazing trick, and there's 5 competitors surrounding them when they're done to congratulate them and high-five them, even though it may mean that they just got knocked down on the medal stand. And I think about when you were watching Lindsay on her final run, I don't know who the name of the snowboarder was who was with you, next to you.
Yeah.
But he had his arms around you because he knew that you were about to finally win your medal.
Omar Vicentin, yeah. He's been an amazing rider from Italy for many years. I have a close bond with most of the Italian riders. My mom's 100% Italian. They know that my roots go back to northern Italy. And so we've had a great friendship and a great bond for a long time. And I think a lot of the other athletes like me because I'm approachable. I go talk to them. I don't care if they don't speak my language. I'm still going to try to do some kind of charades to get them to know what I'm saying. Sometimes I just get laughs out of some of the guys, but that's who I am. That's how I like to have fun. I like to make new friends. And I have a very good relationship with Omar. And it was funny, he's yelling, "Come on, Mickey!" And then I was like, "Yes, come on, Mickey, let her draft you to the finish." and it was just a great time. And then, they were both very happy for me. Yeah. Both of those, all 4 of those competitors that were in that final with us were super excited to see that I had finally got my medal because they've seen what I've gone through. Yeah. Lots of these kids looked up to me when they were younger, and it's because of things that I did that inspired them to go after this, and just to see it come full circle.
Doesn't that feel unique to snowboarding, or am I missing how much kinship there is in other sports too at the Olympics?
No, so snowboarding, we're just this close community of people, and we're out there expressing our individualities, and we're trying to stay different. Snowboarding started as the way to rebel against skiing, and we are proud of that. And we do whatever we can, and our little community is super strong because of just how important all that is to us.
Yeah.
And you saw us out there racing in these tight race pants. We were not happy with that. And it was just because no one would enforce the rules that we have. We like to have baggier pants.
Yeah.
We like to look the part. We want to express our individualities and be the cool guys. We don't want to be skiers. We've rebelled from that. We respect them, but that's their thing. Our thing is different. And I think all that working for that same goal has made us such a tight community.
In fact, that's why when they first started adding snowboarding to the Olympics, I wasn't sure it would ever mean as much to snowboarders to win an Olympic medal as it did to, say, win the X Games.
Yeah.
As someone who's done both, I now get the feeling that this is the biggest thing to you.
So this is huge for sure, but when I won my X Games gold medal in 2011, that's the action sports Olympics, right?
Yeah.
So it carries a lot of weight in itself. Yeah. But obviously, this is the pinnacle of sports. This is it. This is the top level of what we can do, and whether you're more into the action sports side of things with the X Games or the Olympics, you got to respect this. Yeah.
And I do. Let's go back to the games. So you've wiped out of that first of your signature event, and you really weren't fully aware that you had another opportunity coming.
Yeah.
So tell me about that realization that, wait a minute, I might not be done.
Yeah, so I did. I wasn't 100% sure that we were racing. My coach kind of laughed at me like, how did you not know that we were going to get we were going to get 2 different teams for that race? And I was like, I wasn't paying attention to that because I was so focused and laser focused on what I needed to do. And I wasn't going to worry about the team race till I had to worry about the team race. My job was to worry about doing my job, and if I did and executed my job the way that I knew I could, I would have been in the team race no matter what, 1 team or 2. And then when I made the mistake, and then my teammate went on to take 6th, he now, top 6, gives you the top qualifying spot or the top seed for going into there. And because I have had an amazing year, an amazing season with 2 podiums before the Olympics, I was the top ranked athlete on the team, giving me the 2nd spot. And yeah.
And then you find out your partner is going to be Lindsay Jacobellis, who's pretty good.
Yeah, she's not bad. And deep down inside, once I knew we were going to get 2 teams, I knew that they would team us together because of our experience and how much time we've had on the course. Nothing against Jake Vetter, who's from the Detroit area.
Yeah, we
An
love
amazing
Jake.
athlete.
Yeah.
And the fact that he went out there and did what he did, man, I couldn't be prouder of him. But all that time I've put on course and all those lessons I learned over the 17 years were for that moment. And the coaches knew that. And with the change of conditions, all those changes worked in my advantage. One, because of the experience and just the race tactics. I've done so much passing and navigating through courses, and we knew when that snow turned or changed the course was completely different. So now we had to completely change our strategies, and they knew that me and Lindsay would be able to do that seamlessly together.
And you did. The weird thing, though, about that event is you've done everything that you could do, and suddenly it's out of your hands.
Yeah.
And you've just got to watch Lindsay.
Yeah.
Watching her was also one of my favorite things. But take me through watching her race and knowing what was on the line for you. For
Well,
both of you.
I mean, I think it works both ways. So when she was at the bottom and I was in the gate, I can ride a little bit different. So I can let go of the fear of making a little mistake because I know the most dominant woman in snowboard cross history is going to make up for any mistake that I make. So I'm happy, I'm cheery, I'm not so worried about it, which brings your level of riding to it, brings it up quite a bit. And then to cross the finish line first, and then to just watch Lindsay. And I'll tell you what, when you're at the bottom and you're waiting for someone to come down, it's nice to know that it's Lindsay Jacobellis coming down to finish the second half of this race. Yeah. And it was actually, I crossed first, so our gate opened first, but there's a 5-second random delay. So anytime in 5 seconds that gate drops, which brings it then to your reaction time. So it's actually more beneficial to be that second gate to open because you know exactly when it's coming. You know the differential. As soon as that gate goes, Michaela was able to start pulling before her gate opened because she knew it was going to open. So then she ended up getting out in front. And then Lindsay made one little bobble, and that was perfect because it slowed her down and put her in 3rd place. And that's where we want Lindsay. I mean, obviously she can win from the front, but you do not want this girl hunting you down. And that's exactly where I wanted her. I knew she would draft that first girl, which would slingshot her into Michaela, and then she would make a move on Michaela down. And I thought it would be on the last straight. She didn't wait that long. She just was hungry, and the door opened. She went for it, and when she came around that last corner and started pulling away, man, the emotions just flooded me, and you could see me. I was like, yes, but you could hear it in my voice. It was like, yes. So, dude, I finally got the medal.
It was so great, I know.
And then to see her go from her devastation in 2006, and then the media over the years has been really hard on her, and for her to not only get 1 gold medal, to say, hey, you guys, look what I just did.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to prove you guys all that I am the best at this sport. And it was fun to be a part of that, and it's an honor.
You ever going to be able to describe how you felt at that moment when she crossed?
I mean, I would have to think that those tears and the smiles and the cheering, I think, speak for themselves. But to put it in exact words, I don't think it's possible.
It's interesting because you're 40 years old. I'm not sure that winning this at 30, 25, you could have possibly appreciated as much as you did having gone through. And that's what you told the kids a lot today.
Yeah, and I think the universe knew I wasn't ready for it back then. I needed to work for it, and there was a reason, there was a bigger reason. And for me, if I went out there and won it when I was younger, would I probably be doing it still? We don't know. Who knows? I could have just been satisfied and been done. But to fight for it and to work for it and to come up short so many times and then to get the devastation of the individual race and then to triumph for that gold medal. That's the story we're looking for. Anyone can do it the easy way. It takes someone special to be able to do it the hard way. And to be able to do that and then bring that story back here to inspire my community, there's no better way to do it.
Yeah, no doubt. You've developed an interesting answer because right after that first race that didn't go so well, you said, I can't let it end this way. And I thought, God, the poor guy's got to go train for 4 more years. He's got to come back for another Olympics. You've developed an interesting answer as to whether or not you're going to come back for another one. Now that you've got your gold,
Yeah.
what are you're being asked a lot, what you're going to do now.
So the goal is 2023 World Championships in Bakurani, Georgia. I raced there last year, and I was really fast.
Georgia the country, by the way,
Georgia the
not
country
Georgia
in
the state.
Western Asia, yep. And I was really fast on that track. And for me, my whole career has been about living with as little regret as possible. So I know that if I quit now, I will always wonder, what if? What if I did those same sacrifices? What if I put in hard work? Could I have become world champion at 41? And for me, we're not going to guess. We're not going to wonder. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to make those sacrifices. I'm going to work harder than anyone else. And I'm going to go there and I'm going to find out one way or another if I'm ready to be world champion at 41 or not. And it would be unbelievably amazing to do that. And I can't help but want to try for another Olympics. But obviously, I don't know what 4 years is so far away. So I need to take it in steps. But at that Olympics, there won't be any pressure. Imagine what you can do at
There's
an
no such thing. You're not convincing yourself of that, Nick.
Well, I will go in and I have the medals. So, I mean, will I want another one? Yes.
Yeah.
But will I need it? No.
Different.
And I don't think that I need it at this time either. But to be able to go out there knowing you have one, you can again relax a little more, and I think you will see even better riding. And I think it's going to take a lot of amazing riding to try to go back to the Olympics on the strongest Olympic team to make, the U.S. snowboard team, at 44.
But where did you say your family was originally from? I think.
Yeah, so my mom, I have a nono, I had a nono and nona. I had a bees nono and bees nona. That's grandma, grandpa, and great-grandma and great-grandpa. They came from Italy, northern Italy to be exact. And all my aunts and uncles and my mom, they really want to go. So I'd hate to let them down.
You couldn't possibly.
Yeah, couldn't possibly.
That's great. But in this age of ultra-pampered elite athletes, this means you're going to be, you spent last summer living in your van so that you could train. You're going to be doing the same thing again. We still haven't managed to find the lap of luxury for this world-class athlete.
Yeah, no, and I don't want it. I mean, obviously, I hope some great opportunities come from this, but I like working for it, and I like the story that comes with just having to fight for everything you have. And if that means sleeping in a 1990 Ford van, or 1999 Ford van, to not have to use my money to buy a hotel room, that's what it is, and that's part of the adventure and part of the story. So I like that. And but I mean, being that we're from Michigan, if Ford wanted to give me a nicer van, I wouldn't say no.
We got to work on that.
Yeah.
I remember though reading that. So I believe in the summers often you work for your. Is it your brother-in-law?
No, so my brother. So
brother. Okay, it was the brother who had. This is one of the most youperish comments that I think I could ever hear somebody make. He said, "Yeah, I really miss it when Nick is training instead because he's really good with a shovel."
Yeah. I love it. And it's cool because so my brother's a contractor in Aspen, Colorado.
Yeah.
And just to see what he's been able to do, I know it's not athletics related, but to see what he's been able to do is an absolute inspiration. He does some of the biggest projects I've ever seen and builds some of the most phenomenal homes on the planet. And to see him do that it's definitely like I want to succeed just to make him proud. And I know that's crazy because he's so proud of me. But it's stuff like that. It's those little things. Like, man, my brothers, I've looked up to these guys my whole life. And
in fact, when you were asked today about your biggest inspiration, you mentioned your brothers.
It's my brothers and my family, my sister, my mom, and my dad. These people have done so much for me, but they're going out there in their own lives and kicking butt. and it's cool to see, and it just makes me want to strive for more. And I told everyone at the schools today, it was a constant battle to try to beat my older brothers in something, and I think this was the only way that I could truly show them that I'm the best snowboarder. But I promise you, my brother Josh, the contractor in Aspen, will still argue that he can give me a run for my money.
He's going to find a way
and he
to
can
try.
still. He can
Still bring
rip.
it? Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Absolutely.
I want cameras around for the next family get-together.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain after being with you today in the UP, you will never pay for your own drinks again anywhere in this part of the state.
Yeah, and it's wild. I'm not much of a drinker, so as you can see, I'm drinking a
White Claw.
water basically. but yeah, everyone's been so nice, and it's funny. The first few times I went to our local restaurant, Mr. T's, and it was like people were fighting to pay for my meal, and just to know that those are the people that I'm representing, man, it's an honor, and it's just. I'm so darn proud to be able to bring this home to them and share it with them.
Well, it's been an honor to get to hang out with you today
Yeah.
and talk to you. And I told you, I'm as big of an Olympics fan as there is, and thank you for what you brought to me this year. It was just,
Yeah.
I just loved following your story and the way that it ended. It could have ended better.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like people are saying, like some people say that moment was the best part about the Olympics, and to have people say that about what we accomplished, me and Lindsay are very proud of that, and it's just cool to hear people say that.
It absolutely was.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks,
Yeah.
man.
All right. I appreciate you guys coming all the way up
Oh,
here. and-
I'm so
and
glad we
get to
did.
get a little taste of the UP,
Yeah.
because I know it's a wonderful place, and I know when you come here, you fall in love
We
with it.
started the day with a pasty. We did
Yeah.
the whole thing. We
Yeah.
did it right.
Awesome. Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
awesome.